And we're live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Dice Hard with a Vengeance, your favorite D&D show here on Twitch. At least we hope it's your favorite. We really, really hope it's your favorite. We appreciate everyone who's, coming in to watch live with us. We've got a full house tonight. Every single person in the party is here tonight. Could not be happier. So ecstatic, so hot, so happy. As always, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter/X, whatever the hell you call it. Instagram, we are trying to get some stuff on TikTok, so please follow all our social media. Also, shout out to all of our sponsors. Specifically, because I have a little thing ready for them. Raise Energy, available repsports.com. Use the promo code Curbside8 at checkout for a wonderful little discount on probably one of the best energy drinks I've had in a while. I love their pre-workouts. I use it all the time. Their Broken Arrow just hits that right itch. And if you're not into energy drinks or you just really, really want a snack, jerky.pro. Same promo code Curbside8 at checkout. Get yourself some nice jerky, because jerky is always a wonderful snack for everybody. They've got a bunch of interesting flavors. They've got different kinds of meats that are kind of exotic. It's under their exotic page, so go check them out. Go give them your business. They're a wonderful company. Also, our fun friends at Collected Comics. Go check them out. Go get all your wonderful D&D needs. Dice, books, minis. They've also got a plethora of comic books and collectibles. I myself was there today to buy the most recent issue of Wolverine Sabretooth Wars. So go check them out. They are wonderful. There are 3 locations in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And then finally, the one that I'm probably the most proud of so far, our newest sponsor, our dice sponsor, STWay Gaming. Shout out to them because they've sent out a dice goodie bag for the party. So everyone's going to be getting dice soon. We're going to be doing a huge unboxing video that'll be on our YouTube page. But shout out to them and their wonderful dice, because a few of us got ours early. I myself am rocking a little dragon necklace that I got, and Lee's rocking theirs. So shout out to them and their excellent dice that are on the way. Go give them your business. stwaygaming.com. They're on Facebook. They're on Instagram. They're even on TikTok. And also, they're at Oklahoma City GalaxyCon. Go check out their booth this weekend if you're in the area. Because Jason's a good dude, and he's got some amazing dice. With that, Tim, the floor is yours.
Oh my. Okay. Well, welcome back to Thrandia, and welcome back to your adventure, guys. And when we last left off, you had made an arrangement, struck a deal with the Rockstrasse running the only brothel in the city of Aria, which will pretty much secure a flow of trade in between Aria and your newly created city-state. You gained a powerful ally in the process. So of course, you did have to go down into the ruins beneath the city of Aria. And you dealt previously with a golden Hydra cult. And between these events, you have concluded your business in Aria. You have made a powerful ally. You have procured some trade that can flow from Aria to Sandbar to your new city-state. And where we're going to pick up, you guys were in the Black Pelican when we last left off. You had met up with Captain Cassandra, and you were about to depart. And that's where we left off. So, leave it to the party. Where would you like to pick back up? Do we have any business to do in Aria? If left to do in Aria? If not, we can go directly to the ship and we can make our way back.
The ship's a good call. That was where we had pretty much after our bull adventures. Had more than that last time.
I was gonna say the same. I think we've done our business and we're ready to hit the road.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll say with some farewells to your friend Rhinan, and with an alliance of sorts procured with the Rakshasa. You guys board Captain Cassandra's ship. And you make your way back to Sandbar. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to say that right now it is early to almost midday. You guys are in transit on Captain Cassandra's ship, and you have time to plan, reflect, pretty much anything that you would like. You have for the first time in a long time, you have a day.
It's been a day, y'all. Like, we have not had much rest since we got to this damn island. Whew.
Do we ever have a rest? Like, it's literally been on and on and on and on.
I think we might have passed out one night, but I think that's the closest to sleep that or rest. Rest is the right word. We got plenty of sleep. It's whether or not we got any rest is the key there.
You all do seem to attract a certain restlessness to the city around you.
Yeah, we have a bad habit of that.
There's always something. Always.
So how many days travel until we reach the order? Not too long.
It was roughly about a week to get to Sandbar. And if there is a faster mode of transportation from there to wherever you're trying to get to, if you're trying to maybe plan a launching point to get back to Thrandia.
I mean,
the question becomes, how hard do we hit the ground running when we get where we're going? Because it seems like we're racking up resources faster than we thought. Might be time to talk to the council about what our actual strike plan is. Because if the only way to get more information on what's going on is to go through some obscure contacts back on the mainland, there's a lot to get through before we can even do that, so...
I'm gonna have to agree with you, V. I think as soon as we get back to Sandbar, we find the council and we tell them everything that we've got. Nice debrief of, hey, we got you an army, we got you an ally, and we gotta go because there's a big dragon menacing the next person on the list. I mean, I'm sure we can add more details at the meeting, but that's the gist. Those are the points we need to make.
Maybe. I think I'm interested to see if anything's been going on with the council while we've been away. That might add some different... might change what's on the table, so to speak. But assuming this is a relatively quiet ride, maybe that'd be for the best.
They were supposed to follow up on the lead of the Golden Fleece while we were gone, so that's also in the cards.
let's hope maybe they were a bit more productive than that when it comes to battle plans and concepts. I'd be interested, but we'll have to see. I think I can say that I'll probably fall into my normal ship routine unless anyone needs anything of me.
I mean, I don't. Is it necessary? Is speed is our top priority right now?
I would
Because
say so.
there's a way to get to Sandbar quicker than 7 days. I mean, I know we have a deal with the captain, but there's a quicker method.
Do tell.
Are there any trees around?
Before we board?
Yeah. Are there any trees around?
I have anticipated this question.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
What is a mast made out of?
Yeah, that's
Oh.
in certain terms.
I mean,
If
His neck snaps a little bit, and it's just like, yeah, if you have an easier way.
yeah, and as V says that, Draco goes up to the mast and he draws his little sigil on it, and it's like, yes, I know nature isn't my forte, but there's one thing that almost all druids can do at a certain time, and he's going to cast Transport Viva Plant, and a big portal is going to form, kind of like the fucking doors on in The Nightmare Before Christmas, with the trees, all the different doors. It's just this door that shows up in the
Nice.
mask.
Okay.
And then you see on the other side of the door,
what does the door look like?
I mean,
Because if you're doing Nightmare Before Christmas, it's like a Christmas tree. There was a. What does it look like?
I mean, I would just, if it's Draco flavored, it's obviously going to be like a starry kind of draconic constellation door.
Okay.
So
okay,
like
the constellation Draco.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you see the palm tree that Draco touched behind the hotel.
Okay.
And he looks at V and, after you, V.
Huh, son of a bitch, didn't see that coming.
Useful. And this is the first time we're hearing about it. Maybe we should just give a quick word to the captain to save some face and then get out of here.
Paralos, up in the crow's nest, will you please give me a perception check?
That's where he is.
What is it? 13.
13. Okay. Okay. Hold on, let me get my nautical terms correctly. On the port side of the ship, Corrales, you note movement from the water, kind of like a, I'm going to say like a Bugs Bunny trail of water heading towards the ship, and immediately a humanoid jumps from the water like a leaping fish and latches onto the side of the ship and starts climbing over the side.
I'll start yelling for everybody that there's something climbing on the ship.
You guys note as one of the pirates under Cassandra's command basically cries out as a saber comes up through his chest, and you see fish-like undead with like coral and like seaweed for long hair and just this like barnacles all across like the chest. Very, very Pirates of the Caribbean-ish.
Very Davy Jones, yeah.
Very Davy Jones-ish.
It's always something. It's always something.
You're like magnets, all of you.
It's them. 100%. My life has not been like this until I met them.
Corrales, you also note off a closing distance fast as a galleon, and it's a little bigger than yours.
That's what she said.
Hey.
So, your door is open though. This magical door
Via's
in the
standing in
mask.
front of this door saying, this could cause problems later, but it doesn't seem like it needs to be our problem now.
It's up to you. It's not going to stay.
Basilisk walks through.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but like, we can make an enemy of one captain later, or we can risk problems.
Who's next? Like, you gotta go.
The ship is being attacked.
Yeah. Guys, we can make...
Hey, we got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
we
right.
gotta go.
So Taruk is gonna go find the first thing, and he's gonna hit it.
Okay. There's a lot happening here.
Yeah, there's a bit of a pickle.
Basilisk is going through the door. Taruk is going to attack the first thing. What's everybody else doing?
How long does this portal stay? How long
open.
does this portal stay open?
I think it's
6 seconds.
6
6
seconds.
Definitely.
Yes,
Yeah.
It lasts for 6 seconds.
6
Sweet
seconds.
Jesus.
Fuck.
So, split second decision. What are we doing?
Things and fly down through the portal.
Yeah, V's gonna say,
we're
if you guys
doing
want to stay and
portal.
fight the pirates, I'll alert the council for what's happening, but we are rapidly losing the edge, and V will essentially walk through the portal.
Torna yell, Taruk, portal now! And then he'll go through.
Taruk.
Draco, Jan.
Jan's going through the portal.
We can pay off a pirate crew later if they survive, or we can
Let's go,
act on the
Taruk.
resources we have while we have them.
What did you say, Draco?
Nah, looking at Taruk. Let's go. We can fight stuff later. Come on.
All right, Taruk.
Taruk stops and he just gives a no fun, and then he turns around and just dives through the portal.
As the portal is closing, you note that the undead fish people are starting to try to make the door themselves. You do note the captain in the background, as it is Captain Reynard Drake. And the portal closes.
Well,
Portal closes, and V just really darkly looks at Torin and just goes, "That is not my problem." And we have a job to do. But she's definitely not happy about the situation, having had some pretty shitty last encounters with that.
Well, that son of a bitch is still alive.
In a manner.
This isn't.
I refuse to waste any more energy of mine that needs to go somewhere more important on that waste of a man. So, why don't we inquire to the next earliest meeting of our council?
Yeah, immediately. Considering a dead man is still alive.
And just like had to lay on like
I'm sorry, a dead man.
Yeah, Captain Cassandra told us that she killed Renard Drake.
Oh, looks like she gets to do it again.
Interesting.
Yeah, in a
And
way,
with any luck, she
V's
won't be a
not
problem.
wrong. It's not our problem since she killed him and he came back to get revenge on her. That's a her thing.
You're certain he was going after her?
No, but it just...
Considering he was working with the Brotherhood, no.
So it's just easier to say he's going after her so you can wash your hands of any actual responsibility. They're going to die.
You were the first one to go through the portal.
I'm also the only one here, as far as I'm aware, willing to make the decisions necessary to build your kingdom. A few pirates die, you guys get a city, the world is a better place. If you're not willing to make those decisions and be responsible and hold yourself responsible for those decisions, you don't have a place having an opinion on it. You were the one that cast the spell to teleport us out of there. Why would you waste that spell? Why would anybody ask you to waste that kind of power?
We had to take advantage of it in the moment, and if we make an enemy of a pirate crew later, we can probably pay them off just as well. If they die, they should have gotten him the first time, the way I see it. Decision made.
Decision made. Portal is closed. As you are back on the sandy
Sandbar. That doesn't change
beaches
time,
of
right?
Sandbar. You have definitely cut a 7 days journey into but a mere few moments.
Personally, works for V. Given
You have your contacts. You know who's here. Jan, this would be your first time at Sandbar. Sandbar is, for lack of better terms, a pirate haven. What you see are buildings, yes, but cannibalized ships that have been made into buildings. Clear signs of bows, sterns, masts, all having businesses, buildings, hotels built from the remains of these ships.
Yeah, this is not unfamiliar territory, but a new place, so
Welcome back to Sandbar.
I would like to personally start looking for a route or contact to deliver my information.
and we can get in touch with whatever our channels are to let the council know we're back.
Okay. Jan, roll me insight.
It's a natural 20 for a 21.
Nice. Okay. With a natural 20, 21 total, you are 100% sure that you would not have a contact here, and there wouldn't be much of an outpost or even like any type of safe haven for members of the order here. You are aware that Sandbar answers only to the governor that owns the island, and basically Sandbar itself is several small islands that are interconnected in like long streets of wood plank connecting the smaller islands. There is absolutely no connection to the order here that you would be aware of.
Ugh. All right.
Your contact for that, you're fairly sure you have only the one outpost that you had visited before, and that's your one place that you know that you've got to get back to, which is in Thrandia.
Right.
Central Thrandia, because you know the exact location.
Okay. Well, looks like I'm along for the ride for a little longer.
The other question was about making contact with the remains of the council and your little enterprise here of creating a city-state. So, you know your contacts here. You have the Dragonborn at the seedy side of the Sandbar. You have somewhere in the city.
Pretty much just the same, because we don't know where they went to ground when we left. So pretty much just the same channels. So
correct.
Who needs a shitty drink? I know a Dragonborn that could probably get our message across.
I could take a couple.
Okay.
At least.
Right.
So to the Bloody Mary.
Seems like.
Yep.
Okay.
Are there any street children going about spying on things as we go by?
Oh, no.
Any particular street children that are
skin
spying on
tiefling?
things?
Is that the one you're looking for?
being good little boys and girls and keeping an eye on things like a certain someone asked them to.
Yeah. Sure. Give me an investigation roll.
I mean, not my strongest. For a flat roll, it's a 14. But for a, if I see any children just on the street, any of them that look like they might be doing a certain task, if I maybe incited them hard enough.
You see a couple street rats hanging out at the corner of an alley. You don't see the one that you don't see the purple skinned tiefling, but you do see a couple children. Gotcha. One actually looks like maybe like a Triton. The other is a half elf.
Yeah, you know what? Just for shits, I'm gonna go over to him. As we're walking, V just hangs back for a quick stride and not like pulling the group over or anything. You guys can keep walking. She just sort of looks down at the two of them and just says, "I'm looking for someone in particular," and she'll kind of like subtly palm them like 2 silver, and then just sort of be like, "And maybe he could be waiting outside the Bloody Mary in a few hours, if you know him."
Roll me a persuasion check. I'll say with advantage because you gave him a little bit of gold.
Hell yeah. I believe that's gonna be a 20-something.
20-something?
Yeah, sorry. I don't know. Yeah, that's a 23.
23.
Yes.
Yeah. The little Triton girl kind of looks up at you. I assume you gave her the description of the.
Yeah, kind of give a little
for.
named Celio.
Yeah. She kind of, at the name, she, her ears kind of perk, kind of twitch, and she goes, "Yeah, maybe I know him."
Maybe you tell him to meet me outside the Bloody Mary.
Kind of looks at you, kind of expectant.
Maybe if it happens, you'll see me again. We'll work that out then.
She spits on her hand. Deal.
Me just like gingerly. Then he gives her like a little bow and a wink. Walks off.
You see as those
Catches
two
back up with the party.
children vanish into the alleys.
Perfect.
Vanish, run stealthily. They run silently.
Yeah, shouldn't be too hard to catch back up with the group.
Okay. So Jan, yeah, what you're seeing here is each segment of the island, you note a different has its own flavor. The part of the island that you're walking through now, you see a lot of businesses. You see a lot of inns, a lot of business, a lot of fish and tackle, that kind of thing. You go by a hotel called the King Sheets. Every building that you see here looks like a cannibalized ship, and it's kind of giving you the flavor that it appears that not only is this a haven for pirates, it appears to be their retirement. And it seems like a lot of them will retire and build a business here out of their old, decrepit, busted ships.
Retirement community for pirates.
Yes. The closer you get to where they're headed, which is the Bloody Mary, you notice it's getting a little rougher around the edges. You're noticing way more people who are armed, and way more people here of all races, by the way. This definitely looks like the shadier, seedier side of Sandbar.
I mean, it really would not be unfamiliar territory. Jan is an archaeologist. Some of the people who have the best knowledge on where to find the goods are in the shady side of town.
No. You're getting closer to the destination, which is, in fact, the Bloody Mary, a tavern in the northernmost part of the island, the northern island of the, there's a fancy word for that, archipelago, I believe.
That is the word.
That is the vocabulary word of the night. It's amazing I remembered that. The northernmost part of the archipelago, and you see, once again, obviously, same decor, same appearance to it. However, you have noticed, Jan, there has been a couple instances of fights breaking out in the crowds around you. It appears it's very organized, though.
Of course, this mic gave out.
He just notices Jan noticing and goes, "They like to keep things tidy here. Mind your manners."
Noted.
I am back. We have everyone. It just wouldn't be a game if I didn't have audio issues. So yeah, and you guys can obviously kind of explain to Jan the local laws, and they're not many. Basically, you can have a disagreement. It can be handled violently as long as it is agreed upon by the two parties and you have witnesses for the grievance. Open violence is not tolerated in Sandbar. There is a strict code to this den of thieves. Basically, violence and anarchy will not reign here. And the governor, you do note the governor has sanctioned guard, which they appear to look like the rest of the pirates, except all of them wear like a velvet green garb in some form or fashion. They function as the only thing that can be interpreted as town guard here.
Excellent.
So just a little bit to paint the picture and to remind any of our viewers about Sandbar, the pirate haven. You guys make your way into the Bloody Mary. It is packed, and your friend, the bartender, which, Jan, you see a multi-scaled dragonborn of both red and blue scales as the bartender.
He gives him a normal greeting of walking up to the bar and going, "Hey, boss, here to clock in."
And basically, you see is like the the little counter door that swings open that allows people to go back. You see as he's just kind of waving your party through, just kind of like, yeah, I'll send a bottle or two back there.
Thanks, Taven. Torin quickly pushes Jan past.
And you see as a tail flops right in front of Jan as Taven goes, "New face. What's your name?"
Jan. Yours? Taven, I presume.
Taven. This is my establishment. Don't fight anybody unless you got a reason to.
Sounds like a fair enough rule. It's a nice place.
Thank you. Behave yourself. That and his tail raises.
on our way filing in, V will sort of fill him in on the fact, assuming it'll take more than a few moments, it'd probably be best if you could get on collecting our respective friends and allies. Pass along the word we're back, let them know we need to speak at the earliest convenience.
Yeah, I can give word. You want him to meet you in the back there?
If it's going to be that quick, how fast do you think you can get them together?
Yeah, probably a couple hours.
Yeah, can't imagine that would be the worst idea, so might as well stay on the closest thing to home turf around. Sounds like a plan. He kind of swats her head over to you guys and just goes, objections?
None.
Taven kind of eyes all of you up, and Taven locks eyes with you, Tor, and he goes, you know you're safe here. He just kind of motions back.
Violin?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Basically, you all are led back to a very familiar room in the back. You know, kind of like a part storage room, part meeting room, as it has been used by the party several times now. And you have a little bit of food, a couple bottles of his not so finest rum are provided. And you guys are basically have a little bit of a wait here until contacts have been made and the council can be brought to this one of the few safe houses that you have in Sandbar.
He looks around the room a little wistfully, just kind of like, surprised how homey this place is starting to feel.
Anywhere can be home if there's enough food and alcohol.
Mostly alcohol.
So. Well, friends, looks like we have a little bit of a pitch to put together for when we speak with our friends in high places.
Well, not entirely incorrect. We should inform them of Aria providing a decent sum of gold to us. We should inform Hector specifically about the army we found.
I think with that information, it might reframe a great deal of what our next options are. Because if now's the time, to be frank, I have to run some calculations about the benefits of what our next move is and some of the options we've been operating on.
Suppose it's just a matter of see what information they have, see what they've been doing on their side. Provided they've done anything of use, then we give them the information, inform them of the situation to whatever degree you wish to do so, and make ready for the next leg of what we're doing. Based on what you said, my understanding is we're going to go fight a dragon.
Yes.
Why? Does it have something for us?
It has a very large group of oppressed people cowering in the mountains.
V sort of glances Torian between you and Draco and just says, correct. And that being said, it's a very oppressed group of people who we would be foolish to make harder for them to turn down our offer. And it doesn't seem as though they have much interest in the trajectory of our plans here. Isn't that right, Draco?
To be honest, I don't want to say no because it's not like they know what's going on here now, but it's just that the case can be made for them to try to want to help, but at the end of the day, if they feel that they'll be better on their own, there won't be much that we can do to persuade them.
I suppose the question is this simple, Draco. These are your people. And I think my stance on certain things are very clear. But I think the question really boils down to, do you think we can convince them? And what would it take to do so? To get any genuine aid or assistance from them?
I might be a bit optimistic about it, but I feel like there is a chance. I mean, not only if we take care of the dragon, but the highest ranking member, I guess you could say, of the little group that they got. I am married to his daughter, so that also has weight in negotiations.
So they have not entreated for our aid. They are in an out-of-the-way area near a dragon. Are they slaves to the dragon? Is the dragon somehow ruling your village?
I think it was actually a new addition to that land. Like, which the
what you saw was that it was being very territorial, and that you are 100% sure that your people were there before the dragon. The dragon started attacking you and your people after you got there.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
no,
maybe
we were there first.
I suppose if Basilisk isn't abreast of it, then just brief history lesson on Thrandia. They haven't been kind to the druids, and it seems they've fled to the last reaches they can make it to try to find a place to settle. And as I've stated, I think it's incredibly counterproductive to waste our time securing a place for them to settle rather than offering them a chance to fight for the place. Draco, are your people particularly insourced with this far reach realm in the ice? Do they want to be there, or is it simply the last place they were trying to flee?
Would I know the answer to that? This is more so, this was where
I would say on your behalf, roll an insight.
Because if I had the opportunity between a relatively moderate climate where crops can grow and there's more than just ice and death, I know which one I would choose.
You said insight, right?
Correct.
That's gonna be a 29 because a nat 20.
Jesus.
Jeez, guys, save some 20s for the rest of us.
Wow, Draco knows a lot about his own people. Crazy.
Yeah, right? You are 100% sure, Draco, that your people, yes, you are oppressed and you were driven to the northern, the Frostfell. However, the place chosen, it seemed to be a very purposeful, a very calculated decision to be there. For what reason, you do not know.
Okay. Well, I'm going to solve the problem. Here are the options as I see them. If they are going to be useful or offer their services in whatever capacity that is, in exchange for slaying a dragon, then we've already discovered an army that is indestructible, and that seemed to be rather easy to take care of. So slaying a dragon, provided it's soft in the head or incapable of defending itself properly, shouldn't be too awful much of an issue. However, the risk entailed means that unless we have it on very good authority that we will be getting something from this venture, the risk outweighs the reward. Doing a good deed and doing a kind deed is all well and good, but that's not how the world works. Now, we can contact the dragon and have the dragon press on the village, and we can come in and offer services to be the savior and put them over a barrel and force their hand to make a choice. Or we can try to get information as to why they are so bent on not being useful or not helping, because there might be a complicating factor that we don't know. Maybe there's some mysterious artifact that is underneath the ice that they have to live on top of, or bad things happen, or some such oral tradition sort of thing that happens. If that's the case, then we can, having that information, we can use that to coax them into being a little bit more open.
To Basilis's end, I agree in the sense of there might be more to this we don't know. And I'm understanding of that concept. I think the druids are a worthwhile enough venture in the sense of we're making a state. We need people. We need subjects. We need to till the earth and fish the rivers and create the resources. And I think druids are an incredibly good benefit to that end. Not to mention, we already know of several greater bonds with our recent ally that we can make by utilizing the special skills of this group. I think it's a good move. However, what I do not see the profit in, as Basilis pointed out, is an incredibly risky and frankly unworthwhile venture to do a favor for the people who are going to do nothing for us. I understand you've mentioned them as stubborn, but I think it would be the height of stupidity to continue to live in a frozen tundra without a good reason, which we can inquire about. But I think the time might have come to play a little bit more difficult in this realm. If they cannot be of service to us or benefit in exchange for a free state to exist in, which they haven't had in hundreds of years, I don't frankly see the profit in helping them.
I see your point there, and again, I do.
Sorry, I can't hear you very well. Can anybody hear me?
Better?
Yeah, much better.
Sorry. I see where you're coming from, V, but I'll have to mention again that we collectively as a people had no idea any of this was going on this side. It was people were trying to hunt us, kill us, whatever. We had to flee. All this other stuff that we have been finding out together, discovering all this craziness, I'm pretty sure they have no idea what's the full scope of bullshit that awaits us. And bearing that knowledge on top of taking care of the dragon and, like you said, that free city state, those all might play into helping us. Again, the situation was I got sent to help get rid of the dragon, and that was the end all be all. But as the past few weeks shown us, that there's greater things out there.
Understood. So I think let me simplify it to this. We have a lot to offer. A lot more than they might think we have to offer. And the ability to make it happen a lot more than anyone outside of this room knows about. That said, I think that if the cost of their assistance, if the cost of them joining us is killing this dragon, to me, that doesn't measure and seems a bit higher than it's worth.
Well, let's get some information. Bassus will stand up from the bar, take a deep swig of rum, put the bottle down, walk over to the wall, and he will lean his staff against the wall. He'll lean his staff against the wall, and you spend a 5th level spell slot and cast Commune. And I'm just going to ask my mom.
Yeah.
Man.
Okay.
Man.
So, first question. Beyond bodies, is there something in the village, in the druidic village in the Frostfell, in or around it, that is going to be necessary for our particular mission?
Reading the spell. The answer that you receive is in but a whisper, and it is in your mother's voice. And she replies with, people can be yoked of strength. However, there is something that they protect that would be far greater.
Is the thing that they protect an object or ritual that is necessary for ending the cycle?
No.
Is the death of the dragon the only way that we will be able to correction? Would it be reasonable to assume that slaying the dragon will be sufficient to move the druids onto our side?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Sorry, my screen just went black.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. The answer that you receive is an affirmation. However, there may also be a way without slaying the dragon.
All right, so long story short, the druids have something under the village, or there's a reason they're there. It's necessary for something. It's probably an object of great power that only the head of the family or the head of the cult knows about, and thus nobody else knows about it. I would assume it has something to do with the lineage of the family. That being said, it is not bodies for tilling the fields and fishing the rivers that we will be benefiting if we help the druids. I would assume not only their healing abilities, but their natural magics, as well as any information or lore they might have that we've lost or never had to begin with due to druidic traditions tending to be on a longer timetable than short-lived races like, gestures broadly, us. We can go kill the dragon and play our hand there, but we do not need to kill the dragon. There is another solution, or there is at least one other solution. I would assume if the dragon is a new development or a new resident in the area, it means that something drove it from its traditional territory. That would explain why it's being territorial. So either there is another bigger, scarier dragon to fight, or there is another sort of creature that would be enough of a threat to a dragon to move it out of its lair and out of its area. So
complicated.
We can go kill it. We can just go put it down, short-term solution to the problem, and see if that's enough to make the druids, I don't want to say bend the knee, but acquiesce to aiding
Shake hands.
our goals. No, I don't want them to shake hands. They're not equals. They're not peers. They are resources. And if they refuse to be resources, then we do not need to expend resources to acquire them.
Which
Again,
I don't think is an
it's not-
unreasonable way to
not kind.
approach the situation.
Yes, it's not kind. It is honest. It is direct, and it is a way of solving the problem. If you guys want to solve the problem being the nicest heroes in all the land, then we go to the Frostfell, we find this dragon, we ask it either directly or by beating it into submission why it's here. Then we go solve that problem, and once we've solved that problem, then the dragon leaves, and then we get the druids, and then they do their part.
With any luck, the druids will probably tell us. I think we can be persuasive enough to see if we can drag out what's so important and go from there. And it seems like we have options. Complicated, dangerous options, but options.
All I need is a name or a description of what it is. I'll make sure my spells are prepared in such a way that as soon as we have that information, we can figure out what it is, how it works, where it is. And if they don't want to cooperate, we can simply seize it for ourselves if it's so damn necessary. So we have options.
Yeah, barring all that, can I do a history check to see if I might have an inkling of what that would be?
Can try.
Cool. And I'm gonna use my cosmic omen.
It's a good idea.
Yeah. So let me roll the d6 first, because I feel like there's fuckery on the foot. All right, that's a 5. What's my history? Oh, okay. Ah, shit! It fell off the table.
And count.
All right. 18 plus 8 is 26 plus 5 is 31.
31.
Damn.
Spicy.
You're racking your brain. You didn't really have time to think about this in the moment or when you were tracking with your companions through the Frostfell, kind of your scouting mission, if you recall. Also, that being your first glimpse or encounter with the dragon itself. There's one thing that it would be an ancient artifact that would be rumored to be in the Frostfell. It could possibly be the only explanation for why your people and your elder chose to take the clans north, which would be the Shard Heart. It would be the shard of a primordial elemental that existed in the very early days of the Thrandia. So it is if that's what it is, it's probably ancient artifact of untold power type thing.
Basilisk, have you ever heard of a Shard Heart?
I have now. I'm going to use my second 5th level spell slot to cast Legend Lore on the Shard Heart.
Oh,
Okay.
Draco quick to give up his peeps just for us to get this artifact. That was quick.
Yeah, I mean,
We're helping.
Either they'll cooperate or they won't.
this is the first time that we've all been like together, and I feel like the chief sent my
Hence the
father
point.
off some fucking where, so it's all good. It's okay. As long as, my wife cuts out,
Legend
we're good.
Lore, right? Yeah.
As long as my wife doesn't hear about it. I'm the black
Yeah, the
sheep,
less people
man.
know about it, the more powerful and effective the spell is. Meaning that if the only people that even know the name are a couple of druids that everybody has forgotten even exist, I get the whole stat block, who made it, what they had for breakfast that day, who was meeting them in middle school.
Spells,
Yeah,
spells,
and that's
spells,
exactly
spells.
what it is. Thing you name isn't a legendary, you gain no information. Well, you gain information. The more information you already have about the thing, the more precise and detailed the information you receive is. Yeah, the information you learn is accurate, but might be couched in figurative language, for example. Okay, yeah. It's the such and such. Okay. Etc. Basically, Basilisk, yes, this is exactly what he describes. It is only a fragment of a ancient primordial elemental's heart. Specifically an ice elemental. And it would probably be buried deep beneath the earth, the powers of which are... It would be reasonable... No, because it's... Yeah. So basically, that could be the cause of the weather for that entire region.
Huh. Dang.
You're
That's
talking
all?
no.
You've never been there, my friend. It's
Yeah.
just,
All it does is make an entire
icy.
mountain icy. You know, that's...
No. I didn't say
Massive.
mountain. I said region.
Mhm.
The entire Frostfell may exist because of this thing.
Jesus.
Oh,
Ooh, this is big.
And it would absolutely, Basilisk, be a closely kept secret of the Druids. You don't know whether they're protecting it or if they have plans to use it, etc., but that seems to be what's keeping them there right now.
I'll look over to Draco. Draco, what color dragon was this?
You see Draco rolls up his sleeve, and it's these, I don't want to say icy, but cold white scales on his arm, and it's like it was white.
Do white dragons have a... Can they burrow? Can they dig?
Yes.
Okay, so we evict our dragon's nemesis in exchange for him digging us a piece of some primordial Zhizical, and then we move on with our day. We don't have to fight anything except possibly whatever drove him out of his lair.
The bigger,
And-
scarier thing, but the more productive thing.
The bigger fish.
We could, if we convince the dragon that we, could knock it, at the very least, knock the opening course off our list.
Basilisk,
An
can I
object of
use
this-
your? Can I see your
Okay.
mirror? Your
Yeah.
mirror? Or was it a
Go ahead.
crystal ball?
What did we go with? Was it a crystal ball or was it a mirror that we went with?
I believe it
I
was
think it was a crystal ball. I think it was a crystal ball.
Yeah.
It was a
Can I
crystal
see your
ball we
crystal
went
ball?
with. Mhm.
Can I see a crystal ball? And I'm gonna use my 5th level to scry on my father. Boom.
Oh!
Pull some shit out your ass, DM. Let's go.
I've been doing that ever since you went through the mast.
This has been a heck of an episode so far.
As a to get to it later side note, the scales on your arm, B's just like, oh, you should see a doctor about that.
Torn looking at his arm, looking at your arm, looking at his arm. What the fuck?
Need to get you a physician about that later. Anyways,
Just one arm and slightly
Yeah.
under his eyes.
Mike,
It'll be
Okay.
fine.
Contagious starts rubbing Taruk.
Hold on.
Mechanical question. Draco,
Yeah.
is this your father-in-law or is this your actual father?
Oh, my actual father. Cause
Okay, so that's at least a -5 on that saving throw because you have his blood in you. You were made out of him.
Yeah, absolutely.
presumably.
You're gonna scry on him?
Oh no, yes, it fails. You don't know this man.
You are
Hey,
not.
Mom, have you met Dad?
Apparently.
He went for milk a few years ago.
Reveals you are not the
Whoa.
father.
that's not my dad.
We
Who's
just
this
lost.
man?
Everybody left the village.
Your
They fled the
sight
village. You
focuses
just
back on
standing
a
there.
pirate ship. You see a you see Renard Drake with
Nah.
scales.
Dad's there. Oh
No!
Ah, darn.
Draco throws the crystal ball on the ground.
No.
Nothing happened. Nothing
Nothing.
happened.
You
didn't
see
work.
the Rakshasa running the brothel and a
Oh,
cloud of
No.
hookah smoke.
It's the old man. It's the old man.
There's
Just
a
nodding
druid
at the
man in the
camera.
back, just like, yeah.
It's the old man at the theater. He's just chilling.
That's not true. That's impossible.
That's impossible. Okay, all right. Scry. I need to look up Scry now.
The highest level spell slotted paternity test of all times.
Oh fuck.
What postman? What the fuck is going on?
Wait a minute.
The creature you choose.
That ain't right.
Same plane of existence. The target must make a wisdom saving. You know the target. Yeah, and it was -5 because you were. Yeah. Although I could make the argument you didn't really know your dad that well, but I'm not.
You only had to know him for about 6 seconds in passing, so.
You're right. All right.
He was there. He gave me my namesake. I think.
Maybe.
Oh my god.
Okay.
But, yeah, so as Draco's casting Scry, he's telling Basilisk, yes, because when I made it there, it was a little weird that my father wasn't there, because he's on the council as well. Can I see?
I have a problem because the spell doesn't address my problem.
This scrying is brought to you by STWay Gaming. Find them on Facebook.
Introducing the
follow
Scry die.
Yeah. Follow them on Facebook. Follow them on Instagram. Check out their website, stwagaming.com.
Okay. I apologize, Cam. Sell more. Draco.
Yes.
Your sight reaches out, looking for your father. You find nothing.
Is it? Can I tell if it's because he's on a different plane, or if he's dead, or do I get the feeling that do I get the feeling that the spell works?
Yeah, that's the trick. I'm trying to the spell. It doesn't help.
If he resisted it, cast it again, and it will not activate. That's how you'll know. Because if he succeeded on his saving throw, then you cannot scry on him for the next 24 hours. So you just cast it again. If it fails instantly, that would kill it.
Fails instantly.
Yeah, that's the thing, because you have this is the most common problem with scrying, and that's the only thing I've ever seen that is a reasonable adjudication is you're gonna have to cast it again, bud. Sorry. Like, I don't know of another way to verify it that doesn't directly violate the rules of the spell. It's like trying to cast Revivify on somebody who's faking death. The reason why it fails is because they're not dead. So you knowing that it failed, which is not the same thing as them succeeding on a saving throw. Only Zone of Truth and a couple others give you that information.
That's right. You would know if they succeeded, like if they blocked you out. This is not them blocking you out. This spell failed.
Oof.
Can I do an Arcana check to see if I can determine why?
You can try. Yeah, give me an Arcana check.
I'm going to.
That's going to be high.
Good thing Arcana is one of my top skills, baby.
Yeah.
Not nature or survival.
I'm a different kind of.
I'm a different kind of druid.
Ever.
He's a star druid. He's not a real druid.
I heard
he's a nature wizard that just polymorphs a lot. That's it. Yeah, that's fine.
And go ahead.
Radagast.
I'm gonna burn another cosmic omen. That's a 4.
We have fully 3 wizards in the party, none of which are wizards PCs. Just so we're clear.
Just so we're all on the same page.
So 17 plus 8 is 25. 29.
Jesus.
29. I gotta start putting the DC higher than 25.
Shit, I should have guided myself.
Jeez.
Francis, why did you guide me? Why did you guide me, man?
Okay.
Dad.
It failed. There's only 2 logical explanations for why it would fail. 1, he's not on the same plane of existence as you. 2, he's dead. Those are the 2 most likely occurrences where scrying wouldn't work. Because technically, per the spell, you know if he's on a separate plane of existence, you can't reach him.
Right.
And the trick with being dead is that technically you're not a creature at that point. You're an object.
Right. Well, hold on.
We're sorry, the druid you're reaching has been disconnected.
That says location.
404
fuck
error,
it.
druid not found.
Fuck it. I got another 5th level. We'll do my father-in-law next.
Okay. Okay. Scry?
Checking on all the dads. Dads for days.
All of my
He
dads.
has his disappointment and his hatred. Does that count as a connection?
Just the disappointment.
That's a good question.
If I'm your nemesis, do I have a negative to my saving throws if you scry on me? Because that seems fair, even if I don't like it.
I'm going to say it's a flat save because you do have firsthand. You have met the target, but I wouldn't say that you're familiar with him. You only met him once.
Bro, you can call me Mr.
Wow.
You can call me Mr. Your wife. You don't
So
get
I said,
anything.
Mr. Your wife, Mr. My wife's dad, sir.
There it is.
I mean, I am familiar
Yeah.
with this bloodline, though.
We're not
Okay.
going to get into the mechanics of that. This is a family show.
Okay.
It is?
Okay.
Since when?
What's the
We're at
what's
least
the save on that?
at a minimum.
What's
It's gonna be a wisdom 17, I believe.
Okay, well. Yeah.
Yeah.
You find your sight reaches out and it is blurry. You're being blocked.
God damn it. Oh shit, and so with that, he knows that I cast this on him, right?
No, it just says the target isn't affected and you can't use the spell against it again for 24 hours. Sensor move. A creature can instead of targeting a creature, you can choose a location and blah 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 when you sensor. Okay. Yeah, no, that's all it says. He doesn't. That's weird. I thought that they did know.
Yeah, because it says if a target knows. Oh, it says if a target knows you're casting this spell, it can fail on purpose.
Yeah. No, the only thing it says on a successful save, the target isn't affected and you can't use it for 24 hours.
Right. But it says I could do a location, though.
It does say that you could burn another one and do a location.
I'm not burning a 7th level spell slot for this. Fuck.
I mean,
I'll be damned if I'm upcasting scrying, but yeah, anyway.
I think scrying is perfectly reasonable to upcast.
Fuck.
If it gave you a bonus, look, if it gave them a negative to their saving throw to cast it, maybe.
Listen, at the risk of tempting fate, you can take a nap later.
Yeah, so if it failed on him, but if I did it on a location where he is, like how does
we can go there in the morning?
Yeah.
Why are you stressing?
I don't know.
Were you trying to figure something out, or are you just trying to figure out?
You
like,
can teleport us through the network of wood on the planet. We can go in the morning and kick down his door and be like, "Did you make brunch? I've got some questions."
Dibs
Hey,
on the
Dad,
waffle
what's
stack.
up?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of comes with being this level, Chris. You can.
Jan wants waffles. I hope you figured out waffles in this 20 below frigid wasteland. You decided to park your people.
Yeah.
Hey, you know the Fire Clan exists, okay? So they probably have figured it out.
Oh yeah, that's true.
The ancient druidic art of waffles.
The Fire Clan. Hold on. Why are you not sharing any of this information? The Fire Clan. There's a druidic Fire Clan.
Yeah. No one wanted to take time learning about fucking druids. No one asked
care about your druids.
No one asked.
I don't care about your druids unless your druids are useful.
75 years ago, yesterday, I asked for all the useful information. Hey, bud. Hey, bud. Do you think that's useful information? Then it goes on the list.
100%. You know druids. You know that I'm a different type of druid. You didn't think to be like,
I don't know druids.
What other type?
Mother, I am a cowman, sir.
People have been hunting and oppressing yours.
I know
for the
how
last couple
milk
centuries,
works.
my friend.
I know how horns work.
Also,
Sorry, would you like to explain that there are, in fact, different clans of druids, such as your clan, the Star Druids? You've got a clan of Fire Druids. There's
one that does spores. There's one that all they do is summon shit. There's
so we have the farmers. We have the farmers. Yes. The planters and hallucinogen makers, the fire-based world warpers, the celestial gazing future prognosticators, and now we've got a chunk of a fucking ice elemental that we could use to make snow cones in hell. And none of this was important information.
The last part I didn't know. I didn't know shit about the ice elemental.
That means you know that the rest of it was. You're telling on yourself.
Listen, Draco, we don't care unless it's important. I'm sure they care about you plenty. I don't care because I'm a bad person. But this is all incredibly useful information now.
In my defense, has anyone asked Taruk about the different type of barbarians, or if there's other kind of colored fucking what are you Tauren dragon people?
The Dragonborn.
What are you saying?
If I had to make an educated guess, I'd say there's at least a dozen. Because we've seen 4 or 5 colors already.
I was gonna say there's at least 3.
We've got
at least 3.
There's money colored, there's snow colored, and then there's red and blue from our bartender friend.
Yep.
So that's 4.
There's green because of Thornfang the Undying.
So there's 5. I'm just saying.
Again, with all that
you bring up a good point. Not everybody is forthcoming with all the information that any of us and all of us would want. But you see how in the moment of we're going to the frozen wasteland and there's a whole crew of druids that are just rolling around fireballs might be a useful thing if we're going to go kill a white scale dragon living in this world's coldest armpit of the world.
Touche.
All right, we're at war with a bunch of zombies. You want to know what is really good at dealing with undead things? Fire and weird mushrooms. Do you know that? Mushrooms can decompose anything. They can decompose you while you're alive. Hell, you turn into a bug, they'll decompose you while you're a bug, and you'll be dead for 3 weeks before you even realize it.
I know. I've seen work. One of my best friends is a spores druid.
So that's where you got the good, huh? That's where you got your stash when you were young, huh?
I'm done. One of my best friends is a spores.
No, I'm not classist. I have a spores druid friend. I'm just the tone I'm hearing.
I'm just saying.
I'm
just saying. I know their capability. Like, you had from my point, no one showed interest in fucking druids until this conversation.
When I said, is anybody useful? And you went, that's the thing what happened.
Draco, we're not interested because we're trying to take you on a date. We're interested because we're going to attempt to save your people from a monstrous entity outside of our wheelhouse and miles above our pay grade.
How about we just hit only the druid and
you think is relevant, or you could, even if you don't think it's relevant, would probably be relevant right now.
You also know Draco of the Clan of Dreams, which you know
yeah. In my
Basilisk
defense,
just
Could I
looks at
mention the
Draco.
Clan of
Just
Dreams?
in my defense, the ones that do the dreams, they're a little weird, even as far as druids go.
hey, question. Did anybody else here have weird dream interaction with a weird, sexy fuckboy god?
Well, hey, first of all, no one is. Oh yeah, shit.
Okay. So dreams never important, right? Dreams are never important.
There's
Dreams
also
are always
Did you say
important.
dream?
there's also
I
the
didn't
Moon
say-
Clan.
I didn't say.
Corrallus. Corrallus
didn't
is like
say-
the moons you say.
The moon is just tiefling propaganda. No,
There's also the Moon Clan.
werewolves made up the moon so that they could just take your shit at night. It's not real. It's not a real place.
I have so many questions
There's
right
the
now.
Shepherd's Clan.
I have
Elon,
no
please.
answers because apparently I've got.
Ask your questions and maybe Draco will give us an answer.
No
Story
one
time.
asked. No one asked me about my life, about where I came
That
from.
being said,
Beating Draco.
anyone else who's having strange mythic dreams want to raise their hands?
I mean, there was the thing with the party god, but
No.
Oh, that was strange. By the way, that's how I got Charybdis. Anyway.
yeah.
Jan,
So we never discussed that because I.
Go ahead.
Huh. No, it was that night was a lie.
I can give you the short version, Jan, as the party regales you of a
Oh.
collected dream where they partied with Dionysus.
And then he gave
You
me
ever
a
have
cat.
ambrosia?
Yeah.
It's,
Oh yeah. The
it's
ambrosia.
pretty fucking wild.
Okay, you guys know
You
the
want some?
SpongeBob meme where he's sitting in front of the cup of coffee? That is Jan staring at her rum, considering how the hell she ended up in this mess.
I'm sorry,
Draco
Jan.
puts
In
his
my
You're
defense,
here
I thought
now.
you'd be more-
around.
I'm sorry,
No,
Jan.
but
In my defense, I
you
thought your
get used
connections
to it.
would be more useful.
Better get ready to save
Anyways.
the world.
Get used to being minimalized because of your usefulness. That's a reoccurring thing in this group. And he not pointing any
Draco?
fingers. Yes, Basilisk.
Hey, bud. If somebody is injured and you have a cure wounds and a dagger, which do you use?
Who? I feel like that's a loaded question. Who's
It's
the
not a loaded
person?
question.
It
Your
is.
friend, let's say, do you have your Spores Druid friend? Okay. got in a drive-by assassination by some wizard from another clan. And he's bleeding out on the floor like juice. And you have a cure wounds and an inflict wounds. What do you use?
Cure wounds,
Fusion.
my friend.
Why? Correct, Krauss, number one.
Animate
Correct.
dead. No.
We're not.
Kraulis bad.
Corellus, yes. Corellus always, yes.
Almost always, yes.
At the confusion joke, Draco
No more
has
rum
his
for
1,000-yard
Corrallus.
style.
Wait, who gave Kraulis
Corellus
rum?
has had enough.
Cure wounds, Dad?
Um,
Anyway,
so-
I mean, but
does that mean
that's-
inflict wounds is useless?
no?
Because I can hit that motherfucker at 6th level, and I promise you, you won't feel like it's useless.
I would love to learn that. It's not. Again,
I just need you to
again.
understand that it is not dismissing you. If we need somebody that can read Giant, and only Jan and V, for whatever reason, can read Giant, they're useful because they can read Giant. That doesn't make you worth less because you can't. You guys are trying to build a civilization. You're trying to save your little village in the fucking snow cone hellscape wasteland. They're trying to make a country, and I'm trying to keep my entire people from being glassed every time these idiots have a fucking pissing match over a seat on a chair 1,000 miles away from here. I would like to pretend that you understand the gap in severity of what my priorities are and what yours are. We have the same thing we're trying to do, but you're trying to save 500 druids or 1,000 druids, and I'm trying to save an entire region. And I'm not saying that to dismiss what you're doing. I'm trying to make you understand. I'm taking this seriously, and I'm not throwing you away because you can't do something somebody else can. I'm focusing on them being able to do it because that's what needs to get done. And if you only have one spell slot, and you can cast Cure Wounds, or you can cast Inflict Wounds, you would be an asshole and a monster to cast Inflict Wounds on your friend, wouldn't you? I'm trying to get as much information as I can so I can help all of you solve your particular problems, so that you will help me keep my entire group of races of people alive. And every time you decide that you're going to act, and this isn't just you, and I do not want you to feel like I'm attacking you as an individual, but every time somebody decides that some piddly little thing is far more important than the actual mission that we're on, you're not risking your life. You're risking the life of all of my people. So when we have moments of conflict and tension where I'm asking for something or I'm getting frustrated because you are not doing what I'm asking you to do or expecting you to do, it's because I am taking this seriously, and it is very hard in the moment to not see it as a personal fuck you when you decide that you don't have to, because you don't. And that's true. You don't have to do this. You can go back home and you can deal with your dragon now that you have all this information. Hold your stepfather over a barrel, and take the druids and go talk to the dragon and figure out what his problem is and go solve it yourself. You're strong enough to do that. But if you're strong enough where you can do that, do you not have some obligation to help people that are weaker than you? Is it a moral failure if I walk out into the bar and grab some random pirate and snap his neck? Is that pirate's fucking fault because he was too weak to stop me? Or am I the bad person for doing something cruel? I'm just trying to get everybody. I'm trying to check all the boxes that you guys need so that you can be successful, because in your success, I have mine. And I'm sorry if I come off as very pushy or very aggressive or very hyper-focused or very dismissive at times. But as that stands, you saved us a week of travel time where people will die during that week. Just so we're clear, people will be dying this entire time.
And personally,
our enemies
what
will
we're
be
doing
moving.
is more important than those people.
And that's the
which is
situation.
why I'm not trying to come off crass or like I'm willing to sacrifice anyone's people. I think it's just important for us to know that we need to have our goal in mind. And we need to make sure that we're willing to make hard decisions. And Draco, I'm very sorry if it comes off like I'm being crass about your people, but we only have so much we're able to do. And if they're not going to help us, then that means we're going to have to find a way around them. So I just want to make sure that you're ready for that eventuality.
I feel like you misunderstood, because when we were discovering all this, I am fine with us not bailing out them. Again, this is the first time that all the different clans and circles have come together in one place in God knows how long. I'm loyal to my wife, and as much as this, it doesn't really pain me to say, but all of you. And again, when you were asking for useful information, I didn't think that was useful. It wasn't I wasn't trying to hide anything. I didn't think that it mattered. But after your explanation, I do see where you're coming from. And if I have no problem giving you the lowdown of everything, and you start to see this presidentated, I guess, like, diagram of the different types of druidic circles and what they're able to do. Like you said, the stars, the spores, the wildfire, the dreams, the moon, and the different specific land druids. And whatever information that I might have that I didn't think was useful, I'm more than willing to share.
Thank you. And I'm sorry for raising my voice. It is just
Yeah,
very
man.
difficult. It's very difficult to make a hard choice and carry that weight, and then see someone either be flippant in response or to pretend like I'm ignoring the cost. You opened the door, we left the ship, we saved a week, and that week could save a lot of lives. A week could be the difference between us succeeding and us failing. You opened the door, we went through. Blaming me for those pirates dying because I was the first through the door, it would be the same thing as me blaming you for them dying because you opened the door. You didn't have to do that. But you did. So it's your fault they're dead. Does that sound like a fair thing to say? Because it isn't. And we all know it isn't. We all know that we have to make hard choices. I just want you to understand that no matter what is going on, I'm doing my best to support all of you to do what it is that we need to do, because that is how I succeed. And if that is not an option, I will go through other channels and through other means. And that will not be good for you. Any of you. So please cooperate. Please let me help. Because if you don't, then there are other powers that be that will be useful. Because I'd much rather have to deal with holding a border against mindless zombies than well-trained militia trying to kill my people to get stronger. So if you make me make that choice, I will. But I don't want to. But I'm just like you, just like all of you, so powerful and so important in the world that I don't get to do what I want anymore. I do what I have to. And if I fail, then it costs everyone else. I can't afford to fail.
Luckily for me, what I want and what we need to do are pretty much in alignment. I just want to make sure that whatever we do next, we have full understanding of terrible choices we might need to make. Because sometimes we do have to do that.
Yeah, and it's terrible.
She kind of glances at Torin and then back to Draco and just goes, "Don't think I want to. But it's important to understand those options have to also be on the table when we get where we're going."
Ralos, in the back of your head, you hear Mirzagog speak to you and goes, I think he's here. And you hear a knock at the door of the room you guys are in. And you hear Taven's voice just kind of whisper through, "I think they're here."
There's a brief second where V just kind of glitches and she sort of transforms into 3 different people, almost instinctually, different person, blonde gal, dragon person, different person, stops and she just twitches a little bit. "I think we're ready."
I'll take a position next to where the door opens, so whoever comes in will be uncomfortably close to a very large cowman.
I think. Oh, go ahead, Cam. What do you got?
I was just gonna say that Torin is gonna go stand over to V so that when whomever has arrived, the first 2 that they see is V and Torin.
Okay. I think that's a good place for us to take a quick little break here.
Perfect.
Sweet.
Well,
just for the heads up, just to remind everybody, I do need to leave at 10:40, but we have plenty of time.
So okay.
2 hours.
Alrighty, cool. Well, we're gonna take a brief break. We'll be right back, and we'll see you guys very, very soon. ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Thank you for being patient with us while we, bio-braked, got some more beverages to get us through the stream. All ads are provided to you by STWA Gaming, available at Facebook, Instagram, and on their website, stwagaming.com. Get you some wonderful dice from those wonderful people, and collected comics in their 3 locations in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, especially because at their Irving location next Saturday, June 1st, Jason Font, the Time Force Red Power Ranger, will be doing an appearance. I'll be there, so...
Yeah, what time? We might carpool.
I believe the advertisement says 3 o'clock it begins. I will double check that and post it everywhere so everyone can see. But I'm going because I love me some Time Force. With that, Tim, the floor's yours.
All right. Well, welcome back. And when we last left off, you guys were in the back room of the Bloody Mary. You were kind of working through a plan for your immediate next adventure, shall we say. And in the middle of that deliberation, you got a knock at the door with Taven telling you that the council members have been brought. Starting off, the first council member, who's at the front door? Basilisk, weren't you menacing the front door?
Just to so basically where the door opens, since it's an interior, it probably opens to the left. So I'll be to the left of that. So basically the door will miss me, but I'll be standing right there so that I'm within range to intercede or do something if anything sus happens as people are coming in.
Hey. The first person that you see, Basilisk, as they come in is in fact a human with light reflecting off the round spectacles on his face and a burly mustache. A cavalier hat that is folded over on one side as you see Teledor Rex, the human council member, immediately walks through. Delighted, and you notice as his volume is a little lowered and trying not to draw attention to himself, so he's just speaking in a normal voice, which is his whisper. Yeah, delighted to see everyone. And you see Basilisk as he immediately just kind of, your hand is not outstretched, yet he grabs it and shakes it.
His giant cow hand.
It doesn't feel different for his size, correct?
No.
Okay.
No.
Just, look. we left a bunch of people that died, a bunch of zombies. I am now on high alert for just fuckery in general.
Fuckery in general? Yeah, I'm with you. Okay.
Just general low grade.
Yes.
Fuckery.
Some low grade paranoia. It's fine.
Torin and V, you see as the same demeanor that you've come to expect from Teledor Rex. Just absolutely delighted. Good to see you not dead, sir.
We will stand as the council members come in politely and give a polite, little tiny curtsy to everybody who come to as they come in.
Thorn will reciprocate the handshake, the firm grasp. Good to see you, Teledor.
Taruk, he comes up to you immediately, just like the predator handshake. Just delighted, sir, delighted, and just one by one. Corrallos, everyone getting the same fervor and enthusiasm with just the overabundance of this jovial nature of Teledor Rex. Jan, you see as this squat human with a bushy mustache, light reflecting off his spectacles, folded cavalier hat. He's wearing a lot of tan, and you see a crossbow strapped to his back. It looks to be of significant size, like it may be a little big for him. I don't believe that we've had the pleasure. Allow me to introduce myself. Teledor Rex at your service, man. And he just puts out a hand.
Jan cautiously nods. The name's Jan. Pleasure.
Delighted, the pleasure is all mine. A very aggressive bow. The hat kind of flops a little, and he goes and just goes about and finds a seat in the room. Okay. The next one you see is not a council member at all. It is, in fact, the half-orc with a eye patch over his eye. This was the one that was a part of Hector's security detail that had a bad day when Hector was not in control of his body.
No.
So you see him a little more confident, basically a little more. You do see a little bit, maybe about 10 pounds more of muscle, like this one. He may have been overwhelmed on his first day on the job, but it appears that he's stepping up.
He has an incredibly polite and congenial smile hiding a large amount of unimpressed.
Following, you see the picture that I sent in the Dice Hard chat, basically for one person's benefit there. You see a tall, very handsome half-elf with long black hair and piercing blue eyes with a celestial bronze circlet around his head. And a very witting smile is, if a little concern on his face, but the same old winning smile that you've come to know as this is Hector, the party's half-elf paladin friend, who is now
he does the full curtsy as he comes in.
V, you do note is like his eyes like immediately are like darting around the room and then find you, and you see is like there's a moment of, I am so happy to see everyone, and his eye contact has not left you.
V just sort of like V does her absolute damnedest to like keep the kind of polite diplomatic composure and just tries very hard not to glitch again.
And you do note as he immediately kind of corrects, and you see as he goes, I'm so glad to see everybody. Come in. And you see him kind of motion behind him as a few more bodyguards do follow in. He approaches you, Torin, and immediately kind of does the,
Torin reciprocates, gives him like a bro hug, but almost like half the energy. He doesn't like the good tug. He's just good to see.
Decorum, right?
Yes.
Yeah, decorum.
Decorum, but bro hug. Just good to see you, brother.
Yeah.
V just next to the two of them is a little stiff and is just sort of like holding her posture.
Basilisk, he immediately acknowledges you, puts out the hand if you take it.
Yeah, Basilisk will take it.
Yeah. Grasps it firmly, but proportionate to a 6'2", 6'3" half elf who is in really good shape.
So strong, but not strong enough.
Not strong enough. No,
You got them hollow bird bones, elf boy.
Nah. Taruk, you see as Regent Hector comes up to you, puts it out there.
Yeah. Taruk just looks at Hector. He looks at his hand. He smacks it away, and he just gives him a big old Taruk hug. Squeezes him, and he lifts him in the air.
You feel his spine adjust.
Oh. Yep. Yeah.
And you see is there is kind of like a return of the hug, kind of like a double tap. And he just kind of has you by the shoulders, and he's like, man, it's good to see you. Corrales, the same. Immediately comes up to you. You see he's kind of, Yeah, you note as he is doing a similar greeting for almost everyone. Draco, the same, outstretched hand. Am I here? Hello?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Yeah, I shake his hand.
Sorry. No, I'm having issues tonight.
You're good. You're
so-
solid.
Sorry, I couldn't hear Chris. So I just want to make sure he is.
Jan. Now you get a really good look. He's like I said, about 6'2", 6'3". This long cascading black hair goes down to about shoulder length. Eyes that are too blue for his own good. Not Dune level, but very blue. In full blown like celestial bronzed armor, with a small circlet around his head, and a confident but also a little unassuming posture for a regent. And he says, "I don't believe we've met. My name is Hector."
Jan. And as she says this, she's glancing to Lady V, just to judge, like, how prevalent was that little I'll just hold myself as stiff as possible here.
It's very like, you saw V. I would say this. You're an insightful person. You saw V like do business at the brothel, right? Like it was like businesswoman V. That's very similar. You know, V is clearly not uncomfortable in the company of important figures and making deals and whatnot. There's a lot of formality though. That might be a crutch for something. But then again, there is a king in the room, so it could just be that.
Understood. Okay.
And lastly, V, he does not outstretch the arm for you. He simply slowly bows.
V gave him the curtsy, and then she kind of just does a very polite, like, head inclining.
Taruk sees that, and Taruk like makes a face, and he walks over, and he picks V and Hector up and gives a big old group hug. Like, this is
he's just like, yes, dear, we're very happy to be back together. Aren't we all just one big happy group? V recovers from it very.
Yeah.
Doesn't look Hector in the eyes the entire time.
Yeah.
And then Charybdis pops out of the hug and it's just kind of like mewling and scratching at you, Taruk.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
He scurries out of her like big puff of curly hair to come out of the
Hector,
hug and starts patting at Taruk.
It's a kitty,
Hector
kitty.
looks at the little displacer kitten, and you see as he kind of cocks his head a little, he goes, "Oh, you got a cat?"
He's this is she holds up her little gem encrusted displacer kitten. This is Charybdis. Anyways,
how many do we have?
Puts him on her shoulder, lays him over her shoulder, poking out of her hair. Little tentacles laid down over her shoulder.
All right. Basilis, you see as right as you're about to close the door, because it appears that there's nobody else left a part of the party, you note as the door gets stuck on a small feathered creature that is on the ground, and as you look down, you see an owlbear cub. Trying to sneak in the door. And you note as Hector reaches back, oh, that's mine. Let him in.
All right. It's an owlbear cub, right?
Boobo, come here.
Little fat, fluffy monster.
Yeah, you see as this little owlbear cub, you see very like gray and white feathering on it. He's a little chubby, and you see as he kind of lumbers over next to Hector, and Hector kind of scritches the back of his neck, and he goes, "Stay right there." And basically,
you got a dog?
I got an owl bear.
Oh.
Seeing the little owlbear cub for the first time ever, you see Draco dismiss his owlbear cloak, his little stars thing, and he dismisses it. So it just turns. So you can see.
Good call. That's a good call.
Notably, V does not give a crap about the dismembered displacer beast tentacles that decorate her cloak.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Charybdis will come to know. It's okay.
He just clears her throat strategically and then is waiting for everyone to sit down.
The door closes and everybody starts to sit down. You do note, yeah, I think it would be prudent for him to be there as well. I will also say that given a few moments later, the governor also walks in.
Oh.
As he is kind of been privy to a lot of the talks that you guys have had in the past. So, same as before.
Anything happens, sorry, I apologize. Before anything happens, as soon as the last person is in and the door is closed, I'm going to cast silence. Basically, in the hallway, so that it rings into like the inside of the door, and then blocks as much of the hallway as possible. And I will maintain concentration on that until, and if something dispels that, then I will immediately react.
Okay. 1 second. Let me see if I have something that he can cast that will help here.
Only we had a wizard with private sanctum. The 3 wizards here.
I mean,
darn! My owlbear cloak is the thing that casts silence. I can't have it in front of the little one.
Oh no!
Pudgy little owlbear cub.
Yeah, he looks like he's been fed well.
Charybdis too. I don't know what he eats, but he tends to find a lot of it.
Bubo pretty much eats anything I throw at him. It's weird. He's not very picky.
Sure, there's a story behind that.
Yeah, okay, there's nothing. With the regents here, Teledor, and the governor of Sandbar all sitting there. You guys have the ears of the most powerful people on the island right now.
Not if we roll initiative. Anyway.
Yeah.
I can take a couple.
He is sort of he's kind of doing what she did back. He sort of did what she did back at the brothel, and if Torin doesn't say anything within like 5 seconds, she will incredibly suddenly poke him with the heel of her shoe.
Torin will he'll stay standing because I assume everyone else will sit.
Yeah. being a good tough guard.
Right. We through some very interesting means and some very strange encounters have secured an alliance with Aria. They intend to back us financially, and they also we also found an army that can be used.
V will hand over all of the documentation on the hand the missive that has the entire breakout and information out. Although dropping that particular bomb definitely makes it seem a little less yes, gold and stuff. What was that about an army? But she just sort of is handing over all the documentation and its scrolling and entirety to the council.
Okay. So basically, perusing the scrolls, Hector, Teledor, the governor, all are kind of being made aware of not only the discovery of this cycle of destruction, but also the existence of a warforged army that is beneath the city of Aria.
Yeah, I would say with the governor being here, if the council let him hear it all, then V's like, well, in for a penny with this guy. So definitely not trying to be secretive. She will also hand over a sketch of what the she kind of has like a sketch of what the robots had looked like, what the Warforged had looked like.
Mm-hmm.
Just a rough one.
Player's sake, did Draco pick up those notes?
Oh yeah, I got the book. I was about to ask V if I was going to try to whisper to V if she wanted Draco to show the actual.
If you whisper, she'll take them from you and just kind of hang on to them because that's like the details. So like if we're giving the broad strokes of things right now, if you hand her the detailed notes, like she'll hang on to those in case we need to use them, or if you know what, not like here's everything. She'll hang on to the notes you give her.
Yeah.
Sweet, yeah. She takes them from you and just sort of like business-like puts them in just got a little briefcase out, portfolio.
I am perusing notes.
Yeah, basically, I suppose just give the incredible broad strokes of what happened. Say that, we've discovered more information with the Braxis situation, and we have also procured what is more than likely going to be a vast amount of resource for our fight.
Okay. Apologies. This is dragging out notes I didn't know I'd need tonight.
Plug something, Cam. Plug something.
Yeah, go ahead and plug something right now.
Collected comics and games in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. There are 3 locations. The fact that they run D&D every Thursday night at their Fort Worth location. The fact that they're doing... Lee, do you want to plug the...
Well, we're running a Dungeons and Dragons camp this June, the 10th through the 14th. So if you have a little in your life who is of the ages 8 to 15 and are interested in Dungeons and Dragons for them, or they have expressed interest in it, do please send them our way. Myself and Jay here will be the Dungeon Masters, and we are very excited to be teaching some D&Ds.
That sounds like so much fun.
It's going to be really good.
So excited.
That's such a good plug, but I was thinking something more to like fill my stomach with. I'm a little snack, a little snack to get me through.
You need a beverage.
A little pick me up, if you will.
Well, if you need,
do we sell anything for that?
I mean, if you need a good energy drink, there's always Raise Energy available at repsports.com. And their promo code Curbside8 used at checkout for a special discount. But that's a damn fine energy drink if you need a pick me up. And if you're feeling snacky, definitely check out jerky.pro because they have some of the best snacks on the internet for you. All kinds of jerky, all kinds of flavors. I'm kind of particular to their teriyaki flavors.
Still waiting for the holiday ginger honey flavor.
Ooh,
that does sound quite good.
Ooh.
That does sound like that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Get on that.
Wow.
Boom.
Okay. you see as Hector and the council starts perusing over these scrolls, documents, everything that you've basically documented in the deal with the Rakshasa at the brothel, who's basically got the council of Aria under his thumb.
Yeah, is he listed on there as any type of political representative, or is it just the brothel owner, this guy?
Well, technically, it would only be through the official channel, so
he's not on there.
Yeah, no, he would not be mentioned at all. That is something that you would have to add on. And if you choose not to say right now, you can do that too. That can be something you're like on the side. You can go, hey, we made a deal with this person.
At this point, V would definitely not divulge that information because, like, especially with the governor in the room, she's like, that's someone else's political business. And if it was just the council, she would tell them. But there's another guy here, so she's just sort of like, he doesn't need to know the inner workings of that. That's not his business.
Yeah. Okay. And you see as he just kind of goes over it, kind of readily shares the information, and you see as Hector just kind of sits pensive for a second. He goes, well, here's what we know, and here's what we've discovered since you've been gone. And you see as he unfurls, he's handed, and he unfurls a map of Thrandia. And you see as he basically has different areas kind of shaded or marked. You see as a lot of the outlining area around the east coast of Thrandia is kind of shaded. However, you note that the region of the map stops at the woods controlled by the centaurs. And he explains to you in great detail that it appears that the centaurs have held their ground, and that the undead seem to, whatever the centaurs are using or whatever defenses that they have are being adequate enough, especially with some additional help that has been sent by what little resources that and contacts that Hector, the king, he's not king yet, but Regent Hector has made. You also note that he does have like a very obvious red or like a red hash through the capital Phalios. And he says, and the news from the capital is that there is no news. Communication has been cut off with half of the country, and I don't know why.
Love to say I'm shocked.
Pyrus wasn't going to do anything until there was trouble on his doorstep. It was too late.
And it appears that there is trouble on his doorstep, and that's just... I hate to say it, but it's a problem that we don't have time to address right now.
It'll probably be our problem at some point, but it's a problem of Pyrus' own making. He can deal with it.
His people deserve better, but we have to save ourselves right now. We've reached out and sent envoys to the Feywild. Nothing positive from the Elven people. I would not anticipate their help with this. They seem to be fairly well protected and fairly confident that the problem is Thrandia's and not theirs. You do note a small tinge of remorse in that. It's not overtly obvious, but it's easy enough to catch on that you don't need to roll. We have some reports. If sometime in the future the Golden Fleece is something that we desire, we can pursue that. I don't know if it's necessary to what we're trying to do right now. Seems to me the most important thing that we have right now is building an army. Got an influx of bodies and able-bodied men and women as far as Sandbar is concerned, with the addition of Aria and the Warforged. We're starting to gain numbers. Get any help if we get any help from the Centaur people? We're starting to see the semblance of an army. It's very possible we could use the Centaur forest as maybe a staging area to strike out from. Reaching out to Chief Rilo as we speak.
Good. Hopefully, our shared history will persuade him.
He seems very reasonable.
Hector, you remember, he's a good guy.
So far, he's dealt with me reasonably.
We haven't formed a proper plan yet, but we do intend to meet with the Druids about possible alliance.
They possibly give their people a place. What more do we know about this?
Oh?
Is it cut and dried as it appears? We just go slay a dragon and that'll solve all of our problems?
Naturally not.
Well,
But
it seems that there's a bit of a complication. To put it bluntly and simply, the dragon is harrying the druids because it was driven out of its home territory by something. The druids are in that area guarding, ostensibly, the information is tenuous, but ostensibly there is some sort of artifact that they have congregated in order to guard. Whether or not that artifact is some sort of druidic rite of passage, mark of rulership, or if it's inherently a powerful, usable, or useful item remains to be seen. We have ways of forcing their hand if necessary. We have diplomatic ways of trying to solve that particular problem without bloodshed, or at minimum bloodshed. But ultimately, we have enough avenues that either we will have the druids or we will have their artifact by the time we're done. I would prefer both, but that's not my call to make. That being said, this isn't a simple dragon hunt. It will be an entreatment of the dragon, and if it decides to not cooperate, then it will be a dragon hunt. But that is not a decision that we can make, and the series of dominoes necessary for all of this to pan out sums up to: we travel there, we make contact with the druids, we attempt to convince them to aid us in exchange for removing the threat of the dragon, and if possible, as cleanly and bloodlessly as possible, get the dragon to leave, and then we have both the druids and whatever this artifact is on our side. If necessary, we'll settle for whichever seems more useful.
Forgive me, but I'm regent, so I can be afforded a dumb question or two. Is a white dragon...
Reasonable.
Right at the questions. Wouldn't be an episode of Dice Hard.
Psychic, I believe the word was reasonable.
Yes, it was reasonable.
Not really. Out of
I know nothing of assume I'm a child and I know nothing about dragons. Are white dragons, can you make deals with them?
Not all the time. Out of all the dragonkin, they are the most aggressive and I don't want to say bestial, but yeah. They're
Anything can cooperate under duress.
Yeah, they're not normally the talkative type.
That's not persuasion. Now we're talking about coercion, but I'll take what I can get in this case.
Well, and that being said, at that point, the question is, are they, I suppose, intelligent enough to understand? Does their intelligence outweigh their vindictiveness in if something is a good enough deal for them, they'd be willing to deal, I suppose would be a better way of putting it. Because
if they're more vindictive than intelligent, then they may be more prone to siding with somebody that could kill a common enemy. So
personally, I don't think our chances are that bleak in the sense of, if I don't overestimate my own diplomatic powers, I don't see it as an impossible task.
Hey, we talk to the dragon. If it doesn't want to cooperate, we kill it and we move on with our day. It's that simple. It's not easy, but it is simple.
Simple as that.
I agree with that.
Also, assuming that it's a dragon, let's just say you simply go out and kill it. Presumably there would be a horde.
Based on the information we have, it seems that this is not its primary territory. So before we kill it, we'll find out where its actual original location was. 2 hordes for the price of 1 dragon. Feel like that would be a useful, lucrative investment of time and energy.
Agreed.
Whatever more there is to it, we'll see what there is to be seen when we get there.
What other options have we beside the druids?
If we can get there, maybe the order. But that's a solid maybe.
Big question still, a large question still remains, how do we... We're going to fight a battle. How do we stop? How do we win the war, so to speak? If this Baraxis issue is repetitive, cyclical, then it's going to always be a problem. Now, if just winning in the shorthand isn't worthy enough goal, in my opinion, but it would behoove us to perhaps send some resources to Thrandia to figure out if they can make contact with the Mystics in order to get us more information, if there's more information to be had.
And just so I'm up to speed, we believe that Baraxis is an entity that they're trying to force into this Cyclops body? Or do we believe that the Cyclops is Baraxis?
It's more likely that Baraxis is the name for one iteration of the entity that is being forced into this body. So, whatever it is, some sort of unknowable horror or evil or something, is an iterative reconstruction and self-resurrecting or cyclical entity. Baraxis being an avatar or an iteration. Baraxis is not eternal. Whatever this thing is, has so far been, is the more likely answer to that question.
You just see as he has gone from being extremely active, he has now kind of gone silent into contemplation and trying to process a few things.
A lot of information to dump on a group.
Teledor, who is usually the loudest person in the room, has stayed silent this entire time, basically processing the information he was given. There may be merit to reaching out to the Order of Mystics. There's ancient secrets only they would know. Literally the purpose of their order, my understanding, is to keep secrets.
Well,
secrets are currency, and they'd be wisely invested in this endeavor.
I suppose I'm hoping that everyone involved with this would be understanding enough to know that this room's made more progress against figuring out how to actually handle this than I would think anyone in the last couple 100 years. If the Mystics don't want to back a winning horse, I suppose they can keep hoarding their information. If they see the benefit in that, that'd be their call to make. I don't think it would be unreasonable for us to inquire.
And you
Not
see
that
as
I
Hector
have-
just... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, not that I have much pool, but your endeavors seem noble enough for me to get behind.
All I was going to add was Hector kind of nods his head to the side, and they may not know everything, but they know something.
If it's the something we don't know, then it's worth having.
All right. Me and Teledor will notify Vereen of everything that we've learned here.
If it's worth the inquiry, I do notice a face not here. I hope she's in good spirits and health.
Yes. She's doing a little bit of reconnaissance for me. Her ability to teleport makes her easy to get in and out of areas and send messages or give me information.
Hopefully.
What about Sapphire? Where's Sapphire?
She is here on the island, but also handling something for me. Feel like you guys have already laid out the best course of action. You have what you had already. You can speak with my authority. You can speak for me in my absence. This war is coming very soon.
V wants to say something. V sort of like wants to say something, thinks better of it, but definitely gives Hector the first like meaningful eye-to-eye glance, and then sort of shies away from the topic.
I have attempted to do my best to speak for you and speak the way you would. Hopefully that will be as successful when it comes to dealing with the druids. I do have one small question. It's not likely, but it's a small avenue that could be beneficial if it works. Has any contact to the Draconic Empire been made?
No. But, I was saving that assignment for you.
Oh. Oh.
You will serve as my emissary, and you will go directly to Drakenspire. I want you to go before the Emperor of the Draconic Empire and plead our case.
Do we have any leverage?
Well,
you see, is he kind of like you see as he looks back at the wall, which is in the direction of where Taven would be on the other side. Leverage? I don't know about leverage, but I know I can get an audience.
I think we wouldn't be in a disastrous negotiating position.
especially
Due to the fact that,
There is no finer army.
and if
Than
they
the
wanted to
Dragonborn
use
Empire.
that army to back one of the biggest, what could be the biggest ally to unify with them against their shared enemy, I think we could make that case.
Is that country a verdant place?
Yes.
Then we will have leverage.
Also, Emperor Darakus's grievances are with Pyrrhus, not me.
Then we will have leverage and a viable opportunity to support an ally as opposed to an enemy.
We would be the first staunchly against the Randia ally they've had in quite a while, I would think.
Yes, and for the gravity of the situation that he's bringing to you, everyone in the party is aware that Thrandia has not had a single year of good relations with the Draconic Empire. Not since its founding, and probably not since Calliope took over.
So this
and
is
her
a
line
like a
took
100 years
over.
war scenario between them, right?
Yes. Yeah, you
Okay.
picked up on that.
Easy enough. Then we're just the Normans.
Yep.
Done.
Yes.
They would very much, I think, like to back.
Quit trying to draw a
Significant
comparable analysis.
Stop making a
Stop citing history, you hack.
I can't imagine they wouldn't.
I'm
jump
clever.
at
I
the
never said I was
opportunity.
good.
Fair.
Yeah, V's first concept is like, hey, going to the, just for the record, out of game, going to the Draconic Empire and teaming up against Pyrrhus was V's plan from the beginning. So
Yeah.
she is on board with this.
And if we can have a little shiny glass shard that can turn a beautiful, healthy kingdom into a fucking frozen hellscape and a land full of cold-blooded gecko people,
Yeah,
then
if
we
we
have
can-
a button. So
Yeah, I was gonna say earlier, if we could threaten our enemies and or allies with the threat of nuclear winter, I think we'll be golden.
look, V's
However,
not a
said
good
we needed to
person.
be nice.
Basilisk is a good person. We will both make the same choices. That's the
He
problem.
Is not.
Yeah, we need this shard heart. We need to take the shard heart, and we need to use that as leverage, and if necessary, a WMD in order to assault the city of Brine, because they may be fortifying all of their land-based locations, but if we flash freeze the ocean around it and march directly into the port and burn their shit to the ground, there's nothing they can do to stop us.
And if we just so happen to have a lot of verdant places waiting in the wings to assist us rebuilding, we don't have to worry about glassing brine.
Either way, we win.
just for the narrative's sake, Torn has been very silent ever since the proposal, and like, oh, that's all you want me to do? Okay, no problem.
V and Basilisk are like, politics, and he's like,
Pressure.
I want you to go
Pressure.
straight there,
Under pressure.
there.
Under pressure.
I want you to talk to the Emperor. That's all.
Hello, King of Volk Echoes. We bring to you an offer of alliance and peace, or the threat of nuclear winter.
Or
You don't know what
nuclear winter.
either of those words
One of the
mean,
two.
but it's fine.
Look, we have a gecko too. He was just.
This is like playing Civilization. It's like, you can either be my ally or I can nuke.
Yeah, pretty
the
much,
United
right?
Kingdom.
Yeah, we're Gandhi.
It's fine.
We're Gandhi. We want peace.
By any means
She's
necessary.
just like, listen, my friends want a country, and I'm willing to make that happen under any means necessary. And you look like means that might be necessary.
Again, Jan just staring at the coffee, at the rum, just like.
These
What have you got
hillsides
to
look
kill?
mighty
Jan was
glassy.
in 3 days ago. Jan was diving she was spelunking. Now she is at a Civ 5 commerce table.
Yep.
The most aggressive game of Risk of all time.
I gotta say,
Yeah.
for Jan, that's gotta be strange. You're like, well, these people
We are
weird.
kind of playing
these people
D&D
are
Risk.
important.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Do you ever walk into a room and you're like, these are normal people, and then they start introducing themselves and they're like, yes, this is the Queen of England, and this is like, and you're just sitting there like,
This is the god of lightning and thunder.
Right.
you're
This
the
is
what? You know, like I'm
Bill,
sorry.
Chad, the reincarnation of John Wayne, the actual original King of England, and Leonidas. What?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
dial-up sounds, blue screen, like there's.
Why are you
Some
acting
noises.
like this is weird?
This is our everyday. Gosh.
Because this is weird.
Yeah, we've just kind of forced ourselves to
You
get
get-
used to it.
You get used to
So,
it.
basically, to sum up the little meeting, Hector just kind of looks down at the scrolls and back up at you guys. He says, sounds like 3 viable options and 3 threads that we need to pull before we set the end game in motion. Because once we commit, there's no turning back.
At this point,
So
didn't
last-
think there ever was.
Let's
The last
exhaust
off ramp
our
was 6 months
options.
ago.
Yeah.
The last off ramp we passed when we jumped on pirate ships, leaving Brine.
Oh, that
Uh,
being said,
He looks at you. He goes, I felt like the wedding was the last off ramp.
No,
to that note-
that's a fair point. That's a fair point. The wedding was definitely the well, can't turn back now.
V nods her head to Hector and just goes, on that note, Lord Regent, if the pirate group led by the lovely Captain Cassandra happens to come into port a little bit angry, I think a large portion of the Aria funds to pay off any
Damages.
issues that might be there. Decisions were made, what had to be done was done. As long
You
as she gets
see-
her pay in the end, if she so comes back, I think everything will be fine on that front. But a rather large payment might be required.
The utterly mute governor of Sandbar speaks up and he goes, oh, that'll be fun. Yeah.
I just want it said that we did nothing untoward, but a case
Either
could
she's
be made,
worth paying, or she doesn't get back here, and she was never worth paying to begin with.
and maybe tacking on a little difficulty fee would be worthwhile to keep that relation.
Lord Regent, I'll help you with that matter if she returns. If she doesn't, then it's a bill we don't have to pay.
Exactly.
Is this a bad time to bring up the fact that Renard Drake's back from the dead?
We'll see if that's a problem when it shows up.
You see as Hector kind of looks at you and kind of a later conversation.
V's knuckles crack at the table a little bit as she just kind of clenches her hands together a little harder.
The answer to that question was yes. Thank you. No further comments.
You just see as he kind of expectantly kind of looks at Teledor. Teledor kind of nod, looks at the governor. The governor, you have what I have at my disposal. And you see as Hector just kind of nods. I think that concludes business.
Yeah.
Well, seems like
we're going on an adventure, y'all.
Haven't we already been on one?
Don't just Draco don't.
Yeah, we've
Fine.
had first adventure. What about second adventure?
Second adventure.
What about 11sies? What about afternoon adventure?
I don't think they know about second breakfast.
given how many 5th level spell slots have
We
been
had
thrown
one
around,
apocalypse.
we
Why not second apocalypse?
Random.
we should probably at least set off in the morning, given how many 5th level spell slots have been thrown around. His nose starts bleeding.
Jan does have
You've
a
learned-
clarifying question. Because she's a little confused right now. So, who exactly are we trying to prevent from coming back and murdering everyone? It sounds like.
The shorthand version would be a destroyer god of chaos, which periodically every 1,000 of years shows up to lay sentient life down like 12 pegs.
Is
Great.
there anybody in the room
He's
that
also
has
about
information on who that
400
is?
years early.
I mean, you guys know the basics, but if you want to ask,
My question is, does Corrales know that that is his patron?
George didn't until 2 seconds ago, so.
And has Corrales shown us the shard that he had in his pocket? I believe, because I know Owen saw it, but I don't know if Basilisk has.
I don't
he has
think
it
he
anymore.
showed it to anybody. Oh,
Okay.
wait, are you saying the Doomsayer Stone?
Yeah,
You
the
dropped
mark of
that.
contract that Corrales had.
Yeah, Vereen had that.
Vereen has it.
Oh, she took it. Oh, she took it a while ago, didn't she?
And Vereen's
No,
not
I
here,
left
right?
it in the Roxasha's lair.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, but
And
Vereen
picked
grabbed
it up.
it.
Yes.
Yes.
She ended up there. Mm.
Okay. So we're gonna go in order because I have an incredibly important question that if we have a long rest will be very, 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 very important for everybody.
Sure.
Does Corrales know? Is Corrales made the connection that the cult of the evil eye and the entity that they're trying to bring into reality is also his patron, or was one of his patrons?
Technically still is, but no.
Right. Cool. All right.
Technically, that's still
You're
a pretty
talking
busy
about the
carousel.
chained one?
This-
Yes.
Corrales, would you like to make a religion check?
Come
Sure.
on, wizard, not wizard.
Is the little owlbear cub still there?
Yes, it is gnawing on a bone that was, yeah.
Ah, fuck it.
Just
This
you guys
is
had food
important.
in there, so it's gnawing on something.
Good
I'm
cub.
gonna bring back my cloak and I'm gonna use my last cosmic omen, and let's go ahead and add a little 5 to your roll.
Corrales.
Oh, like
With-
I was sitting here going like, what for the owlbear to eat?
Roll for bone consumption.
Roll to attack.
For a second, I was like, "What is he gonna do with the owl bear?" But then I was
Right.
like, "Oh, because of the
What's the
cloak."
owlbear's
I don't know
name? It's
why.
progeria. It
Someone
consumes
he
bones.
puts his hands over the owl bear's eye and then does the cosmic omen with the cloak.
Yeah, basically.
So I add 5, you said?
Yes.
Don't
12.
tell me that's God fucking damn it.
Yeah, it doesn't really.
Problem.
Every mention of Baraxis at this point, it hasn't really matched up with the chain one or the old man that you've had visions of before. Or dreams about before.
All the above.
If only we had like magic people who were really good with dreams.
Yeah, or if everybody was self-aware of the shit they have.
Or if anyone still had a 5th level spell slot available.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I will not sit here and be indicted by a assassin.
All right, well, shit.
I got a 3rd level.
That's a 1st level spell.
Well, shit. I guess that means for tonight at least. Yeah, I would definitely say we'll be setting off in the morning, unless there's
meeting adjourned.
Unless there's any unless we need to come up with any other sort of plan. When the high holy hell do you wear to a frozen tundra? But
for you,
Regent, the
boots
Regent
and a
stands
short
up and
skirt.
The Regent goes, probably fur.
Yes, I'm from a tepid Mediterranean climate, so I'll just go break out my furs.
You don't have a fur collection?
I was gonna say.
Well, I did, but they're not actually for wearing into like anywhere where you need them.
Okay.
They don't actually keep you warm.
They do, but they're
That's
not
the most
like,
rich people bullshit I've ever heard.
So
you have to wear them. You can't move around in them, or else they. Anyways.
I have work boots that I don't work in.
Well, shoot. I guess we have a heading, and
we have our heading.
We have our heading and a night for the spell slots to recuperate.
You do. And with that, slowly the members file out, with Hector being the last. And you note as Hector kind of holds up the security entourage and removes the circlet off of his head for a second and looks back at all of you and he goes, also, don't die.
Yeah, I'm trying our best.
And with that, there's a short glance back to UV, and he just kind of nods and walks, and the security follows him.
She smiles and lets out a breath she didn't know she was holding.
The door closes behind him. And it is only you guys in the room once more.
Point of order, Tim. What we looking time wise? Is it evening?
Well, where I'm at, it's 11:15.
Draco nose starts bleeding again.
Yeah. So for the sake of it, we'll say it's about 11:15 at night.
Cool. That's perfect.
Man, politicking takes forever.
Takes all day.
Yeah, that's accurate. Torin, after the official, everyone leaves, the door shuts, back to normal, he will just slump onto the floor, not even sitting in a chair, just, I gotta talk to the Emperor.
What problem with authority have you?
Why does that stress you out?
Just because that's really high up for a Dragonborn. That's like the highest ranked person I've ever spoken to that I didn't know personally.
Didn't realize you had such a reverence for the pecking order back home.
I mean, yeah. Wow.
So we about to turn in, right? Correct? We about to head to bed soon.
Well, I'm gonna drink until I'm not. I'm gonna drink for a while.
I'm with Bassus
Cool.
on this one.
You know what?
I'm just
I think I will
asking.
too.
I'm just asking because I kind of want to do something, and since it's at night and we have stuff going on tomorrow, it's probably the best time to do it.
Yeah, for sure. I
And
would
you
say.
see Draco grabs one of those jewel encrusted bowls and he starts tracing druidic lines in it, and it starts to fill, and this energy starts to coalesce in the little room, and a bunch of food and drinks appear, and Draco casts a hero's feast.
Nice.
I mean, it's a great proof of concept. You could probably cast it before we set out, so we have all the bonuses. But because we're gonna rest soon.
Yeah, exactly.
Sweet.
So because it lasts 24 hours.
Oh, 24 hours.
Which I wanted to make
after
sure
a
it
rest,
was.
does it?
No,
Cool.
24 hours after I cast it.
Yep.
Sounds like the plan then.
So I wanted to make
We get to
sure
have
it
a
was at
lovely meal.
nighttime. We have a lovely meal. I get my 7th level spell slot, so I don't have to use this shit in the morning. And
Nice.
everyone
Very
that
well
partakes, everyone, blah 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 blah. We are all immune to poison and being frightened. If
For
anyone
24
has
hours.
any disease and poisons, those are cured.
My
all make-
cancer.
Yes, your cow cancer is now cured.
Mad cow disease,
Oh,
however,
that was mad
stays.
cow disease. Yeah, I know what he's saying.
Wait a minute, you're immune to poison and disease. You.
All our
Mad-
wisdom
mad
save,
minotaur disease.
all wisdom saving throws are with the advantage.
Nice.
And I don't know how you want to do this, Tim. If you want to roll 2d10 and we all increase our hit point maximum and hit points by that, or if you want me to do it, or everyone does it
You do it.
individually.
It's temporary. It only lasts 24 hours. So yeah, go ahead and you do it.
Yeah, I just realized that mechanically there's a lot of overlap between Hero's Feast and sleeping with V.
Yeah. Hey, if you eat the right meal, your day gets a lot easier.
I just realized that the description of the spell, there's like
Good night,
3 things
everybody.
that overlap. Sorry?
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Read Justin Prince?
to
No,
stream at that
fingerprints. I don't think so.
That's all, folks.
That's all, folks.
All right, everyone's hit point maximum and hit points go up 17.
All right.
Jesus, that's a
Remember that.
good roll.
Nice.
I will remember that.
Same.
So temporary hit point boost of 17 for 24 hours.
And your max HP, so however, whatever.
I like
blah,
to
blah, blah.
hear. All right, folks, I am so sorry, but it is time for me to leave.
I actually was going to cut it
Sweet.
off right there,
Yep.
actually.
I
So-
think this is in fact a wonderful place to end, with our meeting with the council going well and our heading being established. So that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching. We greatly appreciate everyone who popped in and watched the stream. Anyone that commented in, thank you so much. We appreciate you. So we talked about it before the stream. We will be streaming next Saturday, and we will not be streaming the following Saturday. So next Saturday, the 1st, we will see you back here, same time, same channel, and we'll see you guys real soon.